Hey guys, welcome back to the Boothe review. We are going to be reviewing the movie Parasite. So, this is a foreign language film from South Korea, and the fun part is when we went to see this, I looked at him and I was like, "Hey, what's this movie about?" And he goes, I was like, "Okay, this should be interesting." So, the gist of the movie is there is a family called the Kim family, and they're not super poor, but they're not really doing very well. And then there's the Park family who are like rich, super wealthy. They can do whatever they want, pretty much. So it kind of starts with the Kim's family. They have like a family friend of the son, and he comes and he gives them like this wealthy rock thing that's supposed to give good juju and everything to their family. And then after that happens, the son gets a intern or an interview with the Park family, and so he's like, "Hey, it's looking up," and so he tries to figure out a way to then get his family to then work for this wealthy people, and it's very interesting. And when you like, the name is Parasite, and you're like, what is this movie about? Well, you understand after watching it, like,
title's perfect.
the title is perfect because they're a parasite on society, pretty much. Gist of it.
Yeah, they're latching on to this rich family.
Yes, and so this wealthy family has their own like crew. They have a driver, they have a nanny, they have teachers, and each of them, like, this is pretty much manipulated by the son. He gets them out and he gets his family in, but he doesn't tell them that they're his family. They're like, "Oh, these are family friends that we know," and like then they plan and plot against these people and get them fired and then get their family in. So they're reaping all these benefits of the wealthy people, and they like lied and cheated to get in.
Getting all these salaries from people for
and
one household.
One household, and they're all doing it, and it's actually high on my list on how much I like this movie. And I'm not a foreign language person. This was like honestly one of the first ones that I actually watched, and I loved it. It was
surprising.
I know, he was very surprised. Like, I walked out and I was like, "That's really awesome." It's number 3 on my list for Oscar noms, but I mean, it was a little tricky for me with like reading the subtitles and watching the movie, but other than that, like, you get it. You get kind of what's happening. You get their body language, so you get it from that aspect. But I loved it. I thought it was great, and I really like this movie.
Good. I mean, so it's written directed by Bong Joon-ho, who was actually quite a famous director, really, for sure in South Korea, but he's made his rounds here in the States as well. Some of you might recognize his work. Back in 2013, he did Snowpiercer with Chris Evans and stuff.
Okay.
So he's been around, and he's made his rounds really throughout. But this is probably his. Might be his crown jewel. This might be his best work, really. And he's going to get most of his recognition from this movie.
Yeah.
It's a great, and I don't want to pronounce any of the, because I don't want to ruin any of these actors' names, but they're fantastic. This whole ensemble, from the Kim family, which is the poorer of the families that latches on to this rich family, the Park family.
Yep.
And every single actor, from kids in the park, from the little kids to the adults, and everything that's taking place in this movie, they're all really spectacular. And I could see why. I mean, if you guys pay attention to any of the award stuff going around, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But it won Best Ensemble Cast, which is basically the Best Picture, the top prize for the Screen Actors Guild Award, and it's deserving, I think. Because everybody.
I really think that he should have, like, they needed to be nominated, honestly. And in our last review, I was saying, like, Brad shouldn't have been nominated because I think one of them should have been. Like, the son did amazing, and the father did so good. Like,
the father that's in it, he's actually is a famous Korean actor, and I'll try to pronounce the name. It's Kang Ho Song. And he probably should have been the one most likely to get a nomination because his story really kind of just, even though the son is, I guess you would say, the
say he's the lead,
yeah. But his story, the father's story, kind of just not the ending's about him essentially, the father.
Yes, the ending was like
right. What? And all in all, like you said, for a foreign language movie, it's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's regardless of what country you're in. When Koreans watch American films or whatever, not everybody is up to watching movies with subtitles. But if you can just get past that, you'll be
and that's literally what he said because he won the director man. He won, and he said, if you guys can only just get over the reading
1-inch subtitle at the bottom of the screen,
you'd be in another world. And it's so true. Like, this movie was fantastic.
It really is. It's top notch, and I can understand why it's one of the contenders, really top contenders, for winning this year. It's some of the most clever writing
it's really good.
I've seen all year.
I mean, there are so many twists that you did not see coming. Like,
he plays really, and that's something that you would think would hurt this movie because they're kind of different themes in it. It kind of goes from being like this comedy to a mystery to suspenseful to almost a horror film.
Yes, no, it was because you're like, what is happening?
And there's just a lot of things that go on, and you would think it would hurt this movie, but it really doesn't.
Yeah,
it actually makes a ton of sense in a weird way.
Yeah,
because some of it's a little far-fetched, but it makes sense in the setting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys!
But he pulls it off. The director Bong Joon-ho, he pulls it off in spades, really, which is why he's nominated and why he's getting so much recognition.
He liked the music.
Oh yeah. The music was really good. The house that they stayed in. This house is
the wealthy house, the Kim house.
Yes, it's really this fantastic house that I recently read that they built this house for this movie, specifically for this movie, which is really cool.
Yeah, who does that?
But the entire production for it was wasn't too over.
No, it wasn't.
Really simplistic, really. Yeah. But it's really well done with the orchestration of how this movie works.
Each of them were phenomenal because each of them had to do a different task. So, like, the sister had to be like this art teacher, and then the mom became like the housekeeper, and then the dad was the driver. And like, it was really funny because the son of the wealthy family, he's like, he went and he smelled the mom and the dad, and he's like,
they smell the same.
They smell the same, and
they're using the same detergent.
So they're like, "What do you mean? We gotta like wash our clothes in different laundry? That's ridiculous!" And it's just like those
in order to keep that secret.
Yes, they're like, I guess now we have to spend money on new laundry detergent.
And that's the cleverness of this movie. There's certain because something so minute like that, he highlights, and it makes you go. That just makes
so much sense.
Yeah.
And they smell like laid on the couch, and they're like, "This smells like Mr. Kim." Like, why does the couch smell like the dad? And it was so good, guys. I think, so if I'm ranking this, I'm going to rank it right now. I was going to rank it a B+. I really liked it. Definitely see it. It might still be out for Oscar Showcase. I'm saying definitely see it. It's a must. Get over reading. You got to do it. You got to do
it. And once you get a rhythm to it, too, I always tell people once you get a rhythm to it, because I've seen more foreign language films in the past couple years than I've ever seen before, because I just wanted to expand my horizons a little bit, and I'm glad you saw this one.
Yeah.
But once you get past that, you'll develop a rhythm, and it'll be fine. You'll get everything, and learning the new cultures and stuff really with these movies.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It just shows the world to you, and really a lot of stuff is still similar to what you experience here.
Right.
You know, which is you just don't think about those kind of things, and when you see it, you're like, oh, okay, they deal with the same stuff. For me, as I'm ranking it, it's one of the top. It's like middle toward the pack for me. Does not mean it's bad. I'm actually right with you with the B plus range, and but it totally is deserving of its top contendership.
Definitely see it
for the Oscars.
Loved it.
Loved it. Yeah, great movie. Go for it.
It's the real deal. Alright, guys, that is our review for Parasite. Make sure to always subscribe, comment, and hit that like button for us. As always, we like to make these and hope you guys enjoy watching them. Alright, on to the next. Bye.